I mean, for people that, I mean, I think most people know this already, but for the people that don't know, that trick was named after you. All right, welcome everybody. Timeline Talk. This is a special edition here.
Very special edition.
We got Mr. Eric Dressen joining us.
Hey guys.
What up, Eric D?
The legend. The legend.
How you doing, man?
Pretty good, thanks. Stoked
Dude,
to
thanks.
be able to do this. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and it's rad to get to do it with you guys.
Yeah, dude, we are super stoked on this. So thanks for tuning in and doing this with us. So we're gonna go through your Speed Freaks video part and just kind of shoot the breeze. Fire it up here.
That's in there.
This is like the.
I went to like every spot on the way to one spot. I can't remember.
So I think this is actually still the intro to the video.
Or to your video part, right? Boom.
Oh.
Who's that guy?
I don't know. I don't know if he worked at NHS maybe.
I feel like I've heard stories that he worked in NHS, but I don't know the exact.
We gotta get that fact check bubble pop up right now with the little like what the who he is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or he's one of Metaverse softball buddies, one of the two.
And here he is.
Yeah, that was my apartment in Venice, on Horizon. I lived across the street from the block. I paid $400 a month for that pad, and people said I paid too much back then.
Was it a one bedroom?
Yeah, it was just a single, like an old building. Now it probably goes for like a couple thousand or more.
Right.
Easy.
Yeah.
It looks like a total like typical skate house. Got like all the stickers on the walls. Like got the I love you.
It was a rad little pad. I could just. It was sick back then that summer. Just walk out the house. Block lived across the street. Just yell at him and go skate. Tim Jackson lived around the corner, and it was just like you just leave the house and never really had to drive really unless we went somewhere. Just skate.
So sick.
Right out the door.
So this is your Speed Freaks video part for, was it Speed Wheels or OJ, or just kind of a combination?
It's kind of like just OJ, I think, or Speed Wheels. I guess they had a massive team back then. They sponsored a lot of guys.
Was this your first video part?
I guess so. Like I was told it was just going to be a promo video. I thought it was just going to be like a video they sent out for free to shops to watch. I didn't know it was going to be like a full-on video. Pretty much like Roscop and Tony Roberts came down. They said, oh, they're going to come film me for a day. And then I just took them around to like my daily routine of like, I'd get up in the morning and skate, canter by myself, get warmed up and practice, whatever, and then skate the curbs and beach, and then wait for everyone else to get up, and then spend the rest of the day with like Palozzolo and Oster and Block and all the Venice guys. So I thought I was an athlete in training. So.
How old were you in this video part?
I don't know. I might have been 21. I might have just turned 21 maybe.
So tight.
How old were you when you turned pro?
Probably kind of back when I was 10. I entered some pro contests and I was getting paid from one of my sponsors. But in actuality, probably my first official pro street contest was 86, I think. I entered Oceanside Street Contest. But I had entered the Dog Bowl Pro and Lakewood Pro back in the 70s. But
that's so.
I was so little
so
back then. I was in that like, competitive level with those guys.
It's crazy to think about it like this. Like we got Trey the Tank. That's your little guy on the team.
Yeah, that's my man.
Just turned 10 years old.
I know, he's a savage. I wish
he could be proud.
Now I see the little 10-year-olds blast. I could barely get to the top now. 10-year-olds are blasting like 12-foot airs and stuff and doing McTwists back.
Man side rail.
So I guess it starts off here. This is the top of Mountain Gate in the Sepulveda Pass. And back in the day, we'd take two cars up there, like with Julian and Jesse Martinez and Naudis and some of the other Venice guys. And we'd drive up in one car, bomb it at night. It was usually a night thing we'd go do. And then I was like, oh, let's go film this, like some power slides. But the one factor about this, my board already got ran over that day when I was doing the rail. But,
that shows up later in the part.
The rail.
Yeah, after my board got ran over, we wouldn't film this.
This is sick.
But my board didn't really get messed up.
It just got hit by 2 cars. No big deal.
But this is cool, like when Tony Roberts was driving the van and filming outside the window.
How many times do you think you had to go down this hill?
Just
to get all
times. Really?
Just a couple?
Yeah.
Was someone else driving, or he was driving and filming?
He was driving and filming, and maybe following me here. Yeah.
That's so sick.
Was he following you on a skateboard?
Yeah, I think so. This part, in the very beginning. This part, he's in a van, just filming out the window.
But then right here, yeah, you can kind of see him.
Yeah.
And then I think he'd stop if he saw something I like and just stand there and film.
Sick.
A lot of people are always driving through like Cipolla Pass and they can see that hill and like, oh, that's Eric Dressen's hill.
So tight. And no flat spots, obviously, right?
No, never.
That's my guy, dude. OJ Wheels, baby.
Yeah.
Do you ever go to that hill today, like these days?
No, I mean, I think when I was filming my 411 part, I butt boarded it without putting my feet down from the top to bottom, and I go by it like super fast, but just butt boarding.
Yeah.
I think I was butt boarding 50 miles an hour or something.
Your 411 like profiles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
I
being.
think that was probably the last time I skated it, back in the 90s.
Sick. You were saying before, like, was this the first time that you really had people kind of like following you with a camera and stuff?
Yeah, totally. Like usually this friends had cameras back then. Like we never filmed really, or we just filmed like stationary. Yeah. And during the Kenner part, I was just kind of warming up, and Tony was right on my ass, just keeping up with me, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, like, let's do this." And then I was stoked like to have somebody that could skate as fast as he could and keep up with me. I didn't have to hold back or anything. Like going down the hallway at Kenner, that's when we started doing the follow footage.
Dude, that stuff inspired, I think, like everybody to film follow cam. Like it just became the coolest way of like capturing skateboarding. Like you just something about fish eye rolling with the guy, like it's priceless.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this is like probably the last stuff we filmed. I wanted to do stuff on the hubba, like, but they're like, if you look in the back behind this guy, they're feeding the homeless back there. So like I could right at the hubba, so the Venice hubba. So like I couldn't skate it. And this was right before they're about to leave to go to Texas to meet up with Phillips and all the guys in Texas.
So how long did you have to film this video part?
Just like 2 days. I think they just came one day, and then I think the first day we filmed Kenner and some stuff around Santa Monica, and then the next day we went to Vans. I think on the second day. Yeah, I think it was like 2 or 3 days tops.
So sick.
But they were trying to meet up with other people too.
That would never happen today.
Yeah,
it's so sick, dude. Like, hey, we're gonna meet up with you for a couple days and film your video.
Yeah.
Like that's.
Mine.
Yeah, I thought they would only come for like afternoon, just film whatever. But the gnarly thing is, they stopped on the way to meet me. They stopped in Visalia on the way down from Santa Cruz. Met Tom Knox for 2 hours, and he filmed that legendary part in less than 2 hours.
Wow.
Just doing his daily routine. Yeah, his part is sick. That's still
so
the sickest part.
Yeah, he does like the kickflip wall ride and stuff, right?
Yeah, and just kills those little curves around the corner from his house.
Yeah.
All those blunt kickflip and all that.
Yeah. Dude, I can't believe he filmed all of that in like just a couple hours. It's insane.
Oh, he was a machine. That guy he's
so sick.
Yeah.
Still is a machine, that guy.
Got the Tom Knox shirt on right now.
Oh, hell yeah. And then back here, I don't know, we're just getting more quantity than quality, like stuff, I think, I could do this here, I could do that there.
Yeah.
Not really thinking, and this is just cruising through Venice.
But it's like the best stuff. Like you just look so good, like so natural. Like
Yeah.
the wall ride, the wind ups, all those are like my favorite things about the way you skate. Like I get so hyped on this.
And then this guy, I guess he was one of the homeless guys that was getting fed down here, and then he just started like harassing me, kidding around with me. So funny.
He's just being kind of a joker.
Yeah, and then he's so famous, and so funny.
He like jinxed you. He's like skateboarding's not going to be for the rest of your life, or it's not going to be a career that lasts forever. And look at you.
That's what they told me. That's what my teacher told me in the 4th grade. There, Mrs. Sukup. She told me skateboarding wouldn't take me anywhere. And so I always wanted to send her postcards from like Europe and under my bank statement and stuff.
This is 31 years later, and look at you now. Still rolling. They're all wrong.
How funny would it be if we could find this guy and do a check-in with him?
And then that was funny when we were filming for Right to Exist, and you're interviewing me, and then another homeless guy came up to harass me.
Yeah.
A good skateboard.
That's right.
It never fails.
That was like serendipitous.
And people tell me now they see that dude around.
Oh my God, that'd be so funny to run into him again.
The guy from Right to Exist.
Yeah.
Never fails.
Yeah, that was hilarious. The timing was amazing, just because we're there kind of reminiscing about the Speed Freak stuff and like skating this back in the day, and then here comes another, funny guy coming in and messing with you.
Ironic.
This clip is so dope.
Can you tell us a little bit about this this board slide?
Yeah, I think that's probably the first time I ever tried it. It had to be the first time I tried it. We're just there and I was just trying whatever I could try. I think that was
an Everflick ad, right?
Yep.
It ended up being an Everslick ad later on. I was trying to do both gaps in the Everslick ad, but back then we were shooting with film. I was shooting it with Chris Ortiz, and I kept almost doing it, and then we ran out of film and just never went back. So it ended up getting the one.
Those arms right there,
Look how skinny I was.
so much style, dude. Oh, I love that clip.
Yeah, those curbs are fun back then. They ended up messing those curbs up, putting like cement on top of them.
Really?
That particular rail curb.
You go down there and skate every once in a while now, right?
Not really.
No.
I don't know. I should. Once I got my new Everslick just came out, I wanted to go down there and start skating those curbs again with my new Everslick, but I haven't gotten around to doing it.
We'll be down there soon so we can get the double board slide. I guess triple board slide on the new Everslick. Me, Joe, you, we're recreating it. We're getting it.
All right.
Coming soon.
I'm down.
And then that trick, the rail slide to nose feeble, I guess you'd call it. That one, I came up with that on the spot. I was just like sliding. I was like, oh, I think we're like learning how to like click in the regular like back truck stuff. So I was like, oh, I want to try my front truck.
Dude.
And then that eventually became the barley grind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so sick.
That's awesome. History right there.
Yeah. Is that the first time you'd ever done that? Was on this set?
I had never done that till right then.
Dude,
I was just trying to come up with things on the spot.
That's so awesome.
That's amazing.
But then Donnie Barley took it down gnarly rails. And this is like West LA on Olympic Boulevard. This is probably the biggest rail I did back then.
Yeah. Were a lot of people skating rails back then?
Kind of. I think we're just doing front side and backside rail slides on it.
Yeah.
And then this scared the hell out of me. It was like the worst case scenario. There was a motorcycle guy and a car. I thought the car was going to weave and kill the motorcycle guy. But luckily he didn't.
2 cars ran over it?
I think so, yeah. Look at this. I got Andy House sticker on my board. I got Stormy Japan sticker. I got Bulldog Amsterdam sticker on my board.
Those trucks. We need to get you on some purple trucks again, my dude, with some pink rides. That things look badass.
Pretty awesome.
I like that. With the wood grain board?
Yeah, I think that was just a sample. I don't know why I was riding a sample board. I think I probably was coming out with a new shape or something.
Yeah, that little screaming hand right there, too. Love that guy.
So sick. Yo, this spot.
Backflip. That's like, can we just play it again? Like, that is.
This is like still there, this bank spot, right?
Yeah, people still skate it. That's right off the 405 near Fox Hills Mall, behind the hotel.
I need that screen grab framed on my wall.
Yeah. Really grabbing.
Like, picture of that.
Tweaker.
Really sick, man. I went there with E-Man a couple of years ago, and it was definitely like way harder to skate in person.
I think like the bank keeps getting pushed out, so it's totally different than how it was on this day.
Gotcha.
Or that time. And this was just some place like me and Oster would go skate this all the time because it was kind of near his house.
Scott Oster?
Yeah. And then this pool was sick. This pool was in Brentwood.
Dude, another sick backside air. Like, that one was tight.
Yeah, I can't even believe when I see that, I'm like, that's me.
That's you, dude. That's like sick.
Yeah, this is really, really sick, man.
Yeah, that was a really big abandoned house in Brentwood. Whoa.
This 5.0 too, over the rocks.
Yeah. Yeah, that we call that the. What did we call that? We had a name for that pool, but that was a Capri Street, off Sunset. That was what that pool was going on back at that time.
If you had to phone a friend right now to find out who had the answer to what the name of the pool is,
it was.
What
was the show? The Brady Bunch. We called it the Brady Bunch because the house looked like the Brady Bunch. We called it the Brady Bunch pool.
Sick.
Yeah. Who was your crew like that you would normally skate with this pool with?
Probably like Aaron Sedway and some of the West LA guys. Like Aaron Sedway was one of my photographers back then, and I think he found that pool or he found out about it. I don't know if I ever went there with any like Hasoy or anybody. I think and it only lasted a day or like a couple days. I think by the time we filmed this, like within days, like it wasn't a
wrap. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how that good stuff goes, man.
Did people see this video part and like hit you up for any of the spots or anything like that?
Not really. Sometimes people like always mention like that Mountain Gate Hill. They're always like, or they take pictures of it. And, like, they always know me for that hill.
Yeah.
And stuff. But then like some of these, like that other bank behind the hotel, that became like a popular spot to this day.
Mm-hmm.
There's gnarly guy Mariano stuff there. And
yeah.
A lot of other, I see like dudes skating in. I'm like, oh, that's my spot.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like I've seen like Ray Barbie stuff there, maybe. Or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, back then, like LA guys only skate. There wasn't a lot of people coming through LA. It was just like the LA guys skated.
Right. Yeah.
So now, like people come through LA. Like LA wasn't that popular back then to skate.
Yeah, and now like a video comes out like sometimes days after it was filmed, and so people see new spots and they're like, "Oh, that's happening right now." Like, I want to, where is the spot? Whereas back then, you filmed a part, and then it was like, I mean, how long after you filmed this do you think it took for the video to actually come out?
I'm not sure. I think I'd already gotten on Santa Cruz. It must have been months after. I don't remember. I got to see it in the editing room right when it was finished. Mm-hmm. I think when I went up there to like kind of sign my deal with Santa Cruz and figure out my graphics and stuff, and then they were editing it. And like Roscoe took me by Tony Roberts' studio, and I got to see it.
Sick.
See my part, and I saw Tom Knox's part, and I was like, freaked out over Tom Knox. How rad he was. I was like, he was the best.
Right. So when you started filming this part, you were writing for Dogtown, but then by the time the part came out, you you had got on Santa
I
Cruz.
got on Santa Cruz. Yeah. Tail tap on that.
Dude, that was sick.
And then this is the original Vans factory, and they had a ramp there in Anaheim.
Damn.
And then in that building, they would cut all the gum rubber, so there'd be gum rubber in the air and on the ramp.
Really?
Yeah, like floating around in the air.
Wow.
Crazy.
That ramp was fun.
Looks fun, man. You killed this ramp.
This session.
Back then I loved mini ramps. I just loved mini ramps so much. Just pretend I was a vert pro.
I love this session. You do like every trick. I love the way that they edit it, like this feeble to fakie. You don't even know that it's a feeble to. It's like that one. It's just like, you know, we made it, baby.
Funny.
You know what happens.
You know what happens.
I could do feeble to fakies. I can't remember.
We'll never know because they didn't decide to show the whole clip there.
It's sick.
Back to tail. Early grab. Tweaker. I love that trick for some reason.
Yeah. This salad grind right here is like, that's just the epitome of Eric Dressen to me.
Just
that's a good one. I wish I could do them like that. Still.
Good. That one is so sick.
Yeah, I used to be able to get more on top of them and ride along, like no problem. Now I'm like, I'm too fragile. I might get all scared. I do small salads.
You just
I
didn't
do like side salads now.
For people that, I think most people know this already, but for the people that don't know, that trick was named after you.
Yeah, Kevin Thatcher named it, like salad grind. Like when I was a little kid, like people would tease me like Eric Salad Dressing.
When did you start doing that trick?
I think probably 87. It's a long story, but I think like we were skating with Omar quite a bit, and Omar would do backside grinds and tweak it a bit for like setting up for the next wall.
Uh-huh.
And then I was at Kevin Harris's ranch, the ranch mini ramp thing for the contest. And I was riding a little section with Lacero and Grasso. And I was just like, I'm going to try it front side instead of backside. And then I thought it was silly. And then I think like a couple months later, I went to go stay with Tommy Guerrero, and I was skating with Bryce and Tommy and Mickey Reyes. And they had a ramp at Ray Meyer's house, a mini ramp. And then that's when I started doing them. And that's when I got my first picture doing it and stuff. And then KT named it around that same time.
Brad, was that in Thrasher?
I don't know. It's in the Thrasher book, I think, one of the books.
Sick.
Yeah. I'm not sure when the first photo of me doing it was published.
Oh, 360.
So sick.
Straight leg on the loop. And I think sailfishes were my favorite trick back then. Chinese ollie to pivot.
Okay.
And this, I just learned that. Boom. I took it a little higher. Sailfish tail.
Yeah, sailfish tail. Really sick.
Dude. Don't get much better than that.
Yeah. Stayed on the ramp. I honestly, this whole like mini ramp section is seriously probably my favorite part of the part. Like I love.
Yeah, I haven't watched this in so long. It's funny. Back then it was just like skating mini ramps was the shit. Like this, I wanted to be a vert pro, so I skated mini ramps like a vert ramp.
That's so sick.
And then this is actually right when we first started filming, the first morning at Kenner.
This is Kenner Canyon School?
Kenner, yeah, this is the upper playground at Kenner. And then this is just what I do like by myself. But see, yeah.
Ollie that gap.
And
This footage is so cool. I just love like he's riding along with you. It's like the experience. It's so sick.
The funny thing is, I was right back there. I was thinking, should I do a kickflip? I got scared. I was like, I'll shove it. And then coming up right here, and what happened really is we both ate shit. I slid out, and Tony Roberts, like the original footage, I wish they would have left it in there.
Right here?
Yeah, because we both like slid out and both fell at the same time. And it was early in the morning, and it's all quiet, and there's just birds chirping, and us laying on the ground. It was funny. But then they edited that part out. A little tree bump.
That was dope. It was like a little bull corner almost.
Yeah.
Carve in, hit the jump.
Cool.
So some Dogtown guys skated this school?
Yeah, this is legendary skate spot. Like we're like back in the 70s. And then coming up here, I set up the tube, and this was an ode to the old Dogtown days, Z-Boy days. There's an old surf movie, Go For It, and all like Jay Adams and Tony Alva and everybody are skating it, and they set up a tube, and they're all pretending to get tubed through it. So this is a little ode to them.
So cool.
For being like a major influence in my life. Barrel. And like everyone just back then would pretend they were surfing the banks and stuff in the 70s.
Were you a surfer?
A surfer?
Yeah, were you a surfer?
I surfed. I started surfing probably when I was like 8, but I just like skateboarding better because I could just go skate out the door. I didn't have to wait for anyone to take me to the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sick.
And like you go to the beach one day it's flat, next day it's huge, and so
yeah.
I wanted to do it every day, so I just gravitated to skating because I could just walk out the door and just do it.
Skateboarding was the answer.
You know these banks are always going to be exactly the same when you show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was this spot pretty close to your house?
When I was a kid, I lived down the street.
Okay. Sick.
But at this time, I was living in Venice and to drive there.
What kind of car?
Dogtown O, and then that was my only flat ground trick back then.
Big spin?
What would you call that trick?
Fakey big spin?
Fakey big spin. I think I invented that. I hadn't seen anybody do it before.
Dude, that's awesome. And you did it off the nose too.
Yeah, it was way easier off the nose.
Yeah. Dude, that was awesome.
Popped it so good.
I was like, 1-footer.
Backflip too, just
Flashing. Look at that.
Wow.
And then this is like the little backside of Kenner. And had a little wall ride.
that wall ride was so sick, dude. We were talking about that earlier.
Literally how to do frontside wall ride. There was a tutorial video if anyone needed it. It was like this right here.
Yeah. I could never do frontside wall rides off just flat ground. I could only do them off like bank to walls.
Wow, this is sick enough, dude. Just powerful and style.
Yeah, this whole video is just like going from this little area to that area to that area, just cruising through. It's just like kind of like a day in the life.
Yeah.
And then this bench was set up already, and then I don't know why I was skating. I had nothing.
I mean, that's sick. Like,
and then you broke the camera. Then ollie onto the camera.
Like people probably, like we take for granted now. Like obviously people skate rails, people skate hubbas, people skate ledges like off of things. But back then, it's not like it was like a common thing.
Yeah, know? People weren't going big back then.
Like this was all new.
Yeah, and I didn't make it.
Yeah, that one first just like you ollied onto the bench, like it tried to grind, but then ended up like getting on the bench, and then it's like, all right, well, you did it again.
I meant to do that.
Yeah. Do you invent that one?
Yeah.
Sick.
The 5.0 to ride on. I was talking to EP about this earlier, but speaking of that 411 part that you had, I remember being super stoked on, you did a bunch of like 5.0 to salad grind,
Yeah.
and then like back to 5.0 180s and stuff, like on the ledges at the courthouse and stuff.
Mhm.
Was that something that you did around this time too, or that?
Not at all. I didn't even think about doing it on poop. Not at all. I didn't think it could be done like on ledges for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think I didn't try more stuff back then. Just like I don't know. I was just didn't think of it.
Natural progression, though. You know, that's how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, like I was saying.
And then I think during the 411, because I think other dudes started doing them on rails and stuff, and I was like, oh, let me try it on a big ledge.
Yeah. And then was that intentional? Hitting
No, I think I hit the camera. I think I was tired or something.
And then they just added some little.
Yeah.
Classic move. Joe. We need to make sure we get that shot.
Man.
We gotta add that to the list. Classic.
Just kidding.
Techniques.
I'm sorry. I actually broke Tony Roberts' camera filming Risk It. I wrecked his camera. It messed up filming. But he had to, I don't know what he had to do to get a new camera or something, but it held back filming. He only had like one camera.
Do you know what kind of cameras he was using?
I'm not sure. They're pretty big.
Yeah. Like, was it film or tape?
Tape. It was like videotape. He probably had a big ass video camera.
Yeah.
Tape back then.
That's so sick.
That's so tight.
That's it?
Awesome, man.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That was it. It's like a 6-minute video part.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just a day in the life. That's where I'd go skate. You know, back then I'd just go skate Kenner and skate that and that. And stop
You're
here
still skating, dude.
What
You're
were you
still getting it?
Where did you go from there? Like, what was your next like project after that?
I'm not sure. Like, probably we filmed Risk It maybe a couple years later. But back then they'd just come for a day or two and film me. You know, like back then we didn't travel with filmers. We just like, you know, they'd come, oh, we're coming to LA, we're gonna film you, figure it out, you know. And hopefully I had a spot and stuff. I think during Risk It, I didn't really have that many spots, and I'd just come off Europe skating all this rad stuff. And wished I would have footage from that.
Not like it is today, where it's like every time you go on a trip, it's all documented.
All film, yeah.
Crazy.
All about them.
Dude, that was awesome, man. Like, thanks
thanks so much. Like, I've been wanting to like do something like this, like point little things out and stuff. So thanks so much.
Yeah, it's super cool. What else you got going on now?
I don't know. I've just been skating every day and stuff, but I'd like to thank, you know, Santa Cruz and OJ for that part, because that really changed my career. Like after that part came out, like it really helped my career out, you know. And to this day, people still talk to me about that part and how much it inspired them. Thank you so much.
I always trip on like, you know, getting to travel with you and stuff, and then no matter where we're at, like Australia, Europe, wherever, it's like people will show up just to see you. They'll have like your old magazine like photos and like posters and from back in the day, and like old boards and all this stuff to like have you sign it. And they're just so stoked to like see you, and I just get stoked. I get so stoked when I see that. Like, how does that feel? Like, how is that for you?
Oh, it feels so good, because, you know, I still, when I was a little kid, you know, I just idolized, you know, my favorite pro skateboarders. You know, when I got to meet Tony Alba for the first time, that was like a dream come true, you know. And then he inspired me so much. And the other guys like Jay Adams and all those guys, all the pros I met, and they meant so much to me. And then now that other people feel that way towards me, it's crazy.
It's truly an accomplishment, my dude, and well deserved.
Yeah, dude. I gotta say, like, for me, I'm so stoked I get to work with you, and I've got to become friends with you over the years. And like, I know everyone from the youngest riders on the team to like the most veteran pros to Eric, you know, EP and myself, we all just like getting to go on trips with you and like spend time with you was just so awesome, man. And like you take everyone under your wing. And so
it's so rad. Like we've been like doing so much rad stuff. Like our lives are so gnarly. You know, one day we're skating in Paris, next day we're out in the outback in Australia skating a rough ass spot. It's gnarly.
What are some of your thoughts on like just some of the riders that we have going on, like now that some of the guys you get to go on trips with nowadays?
They're just so rad. Like our team is so rad. Like getting to travel and just, you know, like I'll be all like, oh, I've been to all the sickest skates, like street spots, but I can't skate them. But I get to see like Kevin Braun just, you know, kill it, or Ash to kill it, or any place we show up with Winkowski, just kill it, and Jake killing it. You know, I love seeing, especially like if Jake or Winkowski drops into place, I'm looking at other people like faces and see the look on their faces on their first runs, how blown away they are and stuff. It's so rad.
Yeah,
it's just so rad, like being my age and how long I've been skating to get to experience that still sick. Yeah. And I just like seeing like these guys like, you know, follow their dreams and are making gnarly accomplishments, you know, and getting to be a small part of that, you know, getting to be there when they turn pro.
Dude, I know something funny that I always get a kick out of is like when we're at like contests and if people ask for advice for the what to do in the contest, what's your go-to line for that?
Oh, I kid around, like don't do the kickflip. It was back at like Oceanside, like Jesse Martinez is like, whatever you do, don't do the kickflip, because it was such an inconsistent trick back then. So, you know, you get these little catchphrases that stick with you forever. So, but I got it from Jesse Martinez. I thought it was so funny.
Isn't it like go fast, stay low, don't?
I was always like stay low, go fast. You know, that was like back then it was to stay on. You know, keep going and just stay on.
I think it's still that way.
That's awesome, man.
That was a fun one.
Eric, mother effing Dressen, cannot like thank you enough for everything you've done for skateboarding and for us and for doing this, man. Like, thank you so much.
I'm just a skateboarder, you know, that's all I'm just a skater dude.
Well, I think that's what makes it special, man, is that's what bonds, that's the bond that we all have, that we all share.
Yeah. You know, I just love skateboarding. That's all I've ever loved is skateboarding since I was a little kid, you know. And that's all I've ever wanted to do, and getting to, you know, do it with my friends. You know, I love it more than anything.
Hey, thanks again, man.
Thanks so much.
And thanks to everybody out there. Stay safe.
Thanks, guys.
What up? It's my name McCoy asking you guys to subscribe to the Santa Cruz YouTube channel. There's going to be new shit coming out every week. And please just stay the hell home and wash your damn hands so we can get back to living normal life, man. So subscribe, watch some dope shit every week.